Presenting the newest fashion trend, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Barry, you're not going to be the only one that's going to be chic and with it and hip now, because I got my hands on the Doflamingo glasses. Oh yeah, made out of sticky craft foam, the single most sturdy element on the planet. Oh yeah, I stroll into the fashion show, I start turning heads. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't think they turned out that great. I think Barry's turned out way better. They're way more pointy, more accurate. Mine just kind of look like freaky alien goggles. Woo! Yeah. Now, we still don't know what Doflamingo's actual eyes look like because, you know, even when his sunglasses get destroyed, they immediately give him another pair. The staff at Impel Down are very nice about that. Even the transport team from when they were picking up Doflamingo, like Suru. Suru is like an old rival of Doflamingo, so maybe Suru at least had a little bit of, like, remorse or pity for Doflamingo. Like, alright, well, he is an international criminal that, allied with a Yonko, used his status as a warlord to ruin an entire country, messed with the families and modified memories of an entire population, but his eyes are pretty embarrassing. Here, you can have a replacement pair of sunglasses. Here you go. Okay, fine, I know. I hope Oda reveals it at some point. The closest we ever got was that one scene where he was reading about Flevens and he had his sunglasses off and he had a nightmare about being, like, torched alive by the townsfolk, and so he woke up and we saw one of his eyes open, so at least one of his eyes is a normal eye, but his other eye, the one that was obscured by the flashback, that one might be really jacked up, or it might be gouged out or something like that, right? Or maybe, hey, maybe his sunglasses, maybe they didn't give him a new pair. Maybe his sunglasses are made out of, like, some sort of, like, special future nanobot technology, right? So that's why they were so hard to destroy, and then even after Luffy did the King Kong gun, that's how much force was required to properly destroy these things, and they hit the ground and they shattered, but then they immediately, like, we didn't see the after effect where they repaired themselves through nanotechnology and latched right back on to Doflamingo's face, like... You know, maybe that's what happened, right? I don't get it. Okay, but anyway, Doflamingo right now, he is in level 6 Impel Down, but, if we're being straight up, for how long? Like, yeah, like, how long is he gonna be in level 6 Impel Down before he gets out and, you know, wreaks havoc in the world again? It's probably gonna be a while, you know, because we had the longest arc in all of One Piece, 100 chapters for Dressrosa, to focus on this dude. So, Oda's probably gonna take a break from him, but at the same time, you gotta consider... Oda spent 100 chapters on this guy's arc. You think he's just gonna, like, well, he's just gonna rot in prison for the rest of the story. Luffy won, not a big deal. Yeah, Dofi you gotta love, because Dofi is somebody that always acts like he owns every situation. No matter how much you have him dead to rights, no matter how much you think you finally won, he never breaks, because that's not what he does. He doesn't, like, show his weakness unless you really, 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 really piss him off, okay? But even after being captured by the Marines by Sengoku and Suru and Fujitora, thrown in level 6 Impel Down, which is on the seafloor in the calm belt, surrounded by a bunch of giant sea monsters in the most secure prison in the world, belted to a wall with sea prism handcuffs, can't use his devil fruit, he still is like, oh, this is magnificent, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. And the guards of Impel Down are like, oh god, that guy's creepy. Wait, did he actually want to be put down here, or is he just screwing with us? I don't know, and that's the scary part, you know? He honestly, I don't know much about, like, you know, DC comics, you know, Detective Comics. I don't know much about that, but... he kind of reminds me of the Joker a little bit from the few iterations of the Joker I've seen. Like, he never gives an inch, and even when you have him locked up in an ultra-secure cell in Arkham, he's still, like, you know, he still kind of owns it, you know? It's just like, yes, I could get out of here at any time I want! That's what Doflamingo does! He's down there in level 6, he's all chained up to the freaking wall, and he's just like, ah, my goodness, this world is fascinating! Are you not entertained, Magellan? Are you not entertained, world government? You know? The Impel Down staff might be just intimidated so much by him that they actually do give him some concessions. Because keep in mind, once again, level 6. Alright, the eternal hell, the place that they throw the most horrible criminals in the world to just rot away and be forgotten by history. And we'll still give him a newspaper. He has to at least keep up with the times, right? No, he doesn't! Honestly, I could probably make another video altogether. I've made quite a few videos about Impel Down, but I could probably just make a whole video on its own just with like the practices of Impel Down, like, yeah, all right, so Crocodile's coming in, he's got this giant hook on his arm that might be used to like harm himself or others. Maybe should we remove that? Nah, let's just keep it on him, he'll be fine. Not like he could, like, attack a guard or something from outside of the cell with a hook. I wonder if they remove the poison from it. That's another question. Because it's like, oh, it's attached to his arm. It's like, it's a prison. It's Impel Down. Just lop off his arm. We're like, well, we can't get the hook off, Sarge. I'm like, all right, just cut it off then. Like, no, it's like they let Doflamingo have newspapers, keep his sunglasses. They let Crocodile keep his hook. I'm surprised they didn't let Shiryu keep his sword in that regard, right? Okay. But, yeah, it's a little kind of weird down there. But the last time we saw Doflamingo, we've seen him in Impel Down quite a few times. The first time he was just kind of belted to a wall, and he was just it was during Reverie, right? Right after we found out about Imsama's existence, and we found out about the giant straw hat, you have Doflamingo down there in Impel Down, like literally the lowest level of the world. It's a good comparison because, Marie-Joie is at the top of the red line on the upper realm, the heavenly realm, top of the world. And then you cut all the way down to the lowest depths of hell, because Impel Down is referred to as hell a lot. And you have Doflamingo down there, and he's like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, they're coming for me. I can feel it. And this wasn't expressly shown in the manga, but in the anime anyway, when we see him in Impel Down all belted to the ground and chained up, it's actually shown that the rest of level 6 is empty. So it's implied that because Doflamingo is such like a high-risk criminal, and he's got not just a criminal for the stuff he's done, but also think of his status. He was born to a world noble. He is a Tenryubito, but he just fell, and then he went back, and he knows all these secrets of the Holy Land and stuff. This guy is really, like, the information in this guy's head is extraordinarily dangerous. So it seems like Magellan moved all of the other criminals out of level 6, so that Dofi was the only one, so it's his own personal solitary confinement. And then Doflamingo's also sitting there thinking, like, man, they're gonna send an assassin after me, aren't they? I know they are, because I know stuff that they don't want to know. But then again, doesn't matter anyway if I let those secrets fly. Also in the manga, I think it was, like, I originally assumed that Magellan was standing guard over him. I guess that could still be the case, but it seems like Magellan wasn't right next to Doflamingo's cell. He was just, like, talking to him, Magellan! Or did you move everyone out down here? I'm so lonely. Is it because they're gonna send someone to kill me? I think it's because they're gonna send someone to assassinate old Doflamingo. Well, they can try! It's great, right? Maybe they moved all the level 6 up to level 5, which level 5 seems like a more intense punishment to me anyway, because in level 6, all you really got is boredom. There's really nothing else down there. There's no real torture, because I think the criminals down in level 6 are just so strong, torture really wouldn't work on them. So level 6 is nothing but boredom, but level 5 is nothing but boredom plus freezing. So, you one up a little bit there. So, a few questions I had about the prison in terms of, like, the assassination plot, alright? So, the big thing that I just don't think makes any sense is, like, okay, Impel Down is a government facility, alright? The Marines and the government own the facility, okay? So, if they want Doflamingo dead, why would they have to go through the trouble of, like, having an assassin, like, break into the prison? It's a government facility. You could keep it under wraps, and Magellan works for the world government. I guess Hannibal is now the proper warden, but Magellan is the vice warden. He's the warden. Okay. So you could easily, why don't just send the CP0 to Impel Down and be like, we're the CP I-0. It's like, Magellan's like, well, welcome to Impel Down, sirs. What can we do for you? And Hannibal's like, yes, welcome to my prison. My prison. I own it. Hannibal put like a giant banner over the entrance to Impel Down that's like, Hannibal's prison. Hannibal's Impel Down. Welcome. There's like a little cardboard cutout of Hannibal, like at an amusement park. Like, get a picture with the warden of Impel Down. Only 100 million berries per picture because I'm the warden. Okay, that's great. You're the warden. Awesome. Yeah. So Doflamingo, we hear he got transferred here recently. Oh, yes, he's a really high security prison. We threw him down there in level 6. We evacuated the whole area. It's only him down there. It's like, that's good. We work for the Tenryubito, who literally own the entire world, and they want him dead. So we're gonna go down there and kill him now. And, like, what would Magellan say? It was like, oh, no, you can't do that. It's my prison. I'm like, we're the world government. We're CP0. We work for the world nobles who are the world government. Step aside, we're going in, we're him before he tells anybody anything. And you don't even have to like worry about like the it getting out, like the word getting out and the civilians of the world finding out. This is an isolated maximum security prison. You know, so I don't understand why, like the way that they phrased it, it seemed like Magellan is trying to protect Doflamingo. I mean, yeah, hey, who knows? Magellan might have a complete, change of heart here. Magellan might just be like, he was never really a villain to begin with. He was the warden. He was the boss of hell. He was the boss of the prison. He's like, I'm not going to let there be a mass breakout. I'm not going to let pirates break into my prison and run havoc. So he does have his own integrity. So maybe over the 2-year time skip, maybe he learned some stuff about the world government, he learned some stuff about the Marines, and he decided to stand his ground. And he's just like, I'm not letting you come into this prison. He's my prisoner. He's our prisoner. We're not letting you come in here and assassinate him. And the world government's like, okay, well, that means you're going to be the enemy of the freaking world government now. He's like, I don't care. It's my prison. You want to come in here and take it? Try it. We know it better than you do. I'm like, okay, shit, I guess he's got a point. Like if they wanted to like take Impel Down and like run it themselves and just completely push out any world government, I mean, that would be pretty damn difficult to like take it over, like to raid it and like, we're relieving you of duty, Magellan, and we're gonna, take you and detain all of your staff and we're gonna take over the prison ourselves. That would be rather easier said than done, considering there's all these prisoners in there. You can't start a giant battle. What if the prisoners get free? So there would be some difficulty there, but I'm a little curious about that. And also the biggest question, though, is how is Doflamingo going to get out? Because he's going to get out. I think he's going to get out right when the final part of this story kicks off. I think, like, let's say we get everything done with Big Mom and Kaido. Like, we're at the part of the story where the Straw Hats are literally heading to Laugh Tale. And I can even picture this. I could picture the Straw Hats like, we found the last road poneglyph. We know where Laugh Tale is. All right, let's go, everybody. Kazuko Oni Oriwanar. They're sailing away, and it's into the sunrise, and then the chapter's about to end, and it's like, yeah, they're finally here. The final arc of One Piece. It begins now. And then the last scene of that chapter, you cut back to Impel Down. Doflamingo's out of his cage. He's taking off his shackles. He's like, well, that was a fun little vacation. Time to get back to work. And like he just turns all of level 6 into string, and he just like shoots his way out of the prison, bursts out of the roof, and it's like, because he can fly, basically just grabs onto clouds and he can fly, so the comm belt really wouldn't serve as much of a deterrent for him. Grab onto the clouds, like, time for me to go and settle some accounts, and then flies off. Like I could imagine him doing that, right? Kind of a combination of Joker and Spider-Man, now that I'm thinking about it, right? I was gonna say the Spider-Man, the Joker, the Spider-Man, the Doflamingo. All right. Now, that could totally happen, him just breaking out. I really, like, even chained to a wall, I stand with Sea Prism Stone, I'm still kind of like, he might figure out a way to get out of there. Anybody that would even come close to his cage, he would psychologically screw with. I'm assuming Magellan is aware of this, and he would probably make sure that you just don't have any random person there because he's very manipulative. Even like the demon guards, because the demon guards will often like open prisoners' cages and just go in and give them their daily clubbing. Just like, moo! Moo! And just shut the door and leave. They probably wouldn't even do that with Doflamingo, because it's like the more people he interacts with, the more times that door is open and, someone else comes in, a foreign body enters that cell, the chances of him figuring out some way to use that to his advantage to escape freaking skyrocket. And they learned their lesson from Shiki, because Shiki, he had his arms free, but he friggin', they just lopped off his own legs and he flew away. Actually, it's a few times. Sometimes we see him, like, literally belted to the floor with chains. Other times, like, I think most recently when we saw him, he was reading a paper in his cell, and I think he was still chained up from all 4 limbs, but he was allowed to, like, at least, sit up against the wall and read the paper. So that's another thing, too. Like, why did they give him a newspaper? I don't get that. Unless he figured out some way to steal it. I don't know how he would manage that, but maybe. I don't know. How would they feed him? Maybe Magellan just hooks up the feeding tube. There's no, like, guard that, like, delivers his food or whatever. There's just a tube, and it just drops some prison goop into his cell every freaking day, and just, someday I'm getting out of here. Pretty soon. Could be that. I've said this before, but I would really like kind of Magellan and Doflamingo to team up. Like, if Magellan really did have, like, a change of heart here and he decided to, like, he realized that the world government was pretty corrupted and everything like that. Actually, you know what? Perfect opportunity for this. Magellan, all of these level 6 prisoners got out. I mean, he fought them as best as he could, but a lot of them escaped. I'm sure he beat down a bunch as well, but a bunch of these level 6 prisoners escaped, and the world government is trying to keep that secret. Now, Sengoku was mighty pissed about that. I can imagine Magellan was probably pissed about that too. It's like, because Magellan, more than anybody, maybe not more than anybody, I mean, Sengoku and Garp probably know about these guys as well, because they're probably the ones that put them in there. But Magellan also knows how dangerous, like, Avala Pizarro, Katarina Devon, San Juan Wolf, and all the other level 6 prisoners, he knows how dangerous those guys are. And they're out in the world, and the world government is trying to keep it secret. That would not sit right with Magellan either. That would probably just be like, man, why would the world government do that? Man, that's kind of messed up. Don't they know how dangerous these prisoners are? We need to capture them post-haste. So maybe it would be cool, and it would be nice if, like, let's say an assassin broke in, member of CPI Jazeera, I'm assuming, or maybe some other contracted bounty hunter, contracted assassin, maybe somebody that the Tenryubito don't want to be connected back to them for whatever reason, so they hire, like, the best of the best, because they have enough money, they can hire anybody, and then they send him into, it's like, your mission is to, it's like, you know, it's like some really high, intense, like, 90s action film or something. Wait, do I have a fake cigarette in here? I think I might. Yeah, I do, because it's like, it's an intense 90s scene, so you gotta have a cigarette. Agent Delta 06. Your job is to break into Impel Down, the most maximum security prison in the planet. You're gonna break into that son of a bitch. You're gonna get down to level 6, Eternal Hell. You're gonna find this man right here, and you're gonna make sure to find out what the hell is up with his sunglasses. We've been curious about that. That's the mystery, by the way. That was the mystery at Marisha. I was like, what the hell's the deal with his sunglasses? They're the coolest sunglasses in existence. None of the other Tenryubito have sunglasses that cool. They want the secret. Also kill him. But, you know, the sunglasses first and foremost, right? But let's say Assassin breaks into Impel Down, makes his way all the way down to level 6, and the Assassin's, like, approaching Doflamingo's, like, cage, and he's got, like, a special kind of gun or something. Like, maybe a gun similar to, like, the percussion pistols that the, you know, the Charlotte family had. Like, a pistol that's like, yeah, something gets shot with this, they're guaranteed to drop, even if they're, like, a super durable kind of person. That's another question I have. Like, if the Tenryubito really are so afraid of Doflamingo spilling the beans about their secret, why didn't they just execute him immediately? But then, you start getting into even more questions. That opens the gate, that opens the can of worms into a bunch of other questions, like, why did they have level 6 at all? Why did they keep these extraordinarily dangerous criminals alive? Why didn't they just execute them all? You know, why is level 6 even a thing? Why? That seems rather impractical. We're going to take the most dangerous criminals in the entire planet and put them in one place. Just sweep them under the rug. That does follow along with the world government's kind of policies a lot of times. Just sweep it under the rug and pretend it doesn't happen. What? Oh, that kingdom's being oppressed over there? No, that's not being oppressed. That's world government sovereignty. Yeah, right? So that fits their MO, because the Tenryubito are like, yeah, we don't care about that. Just sweep it under the rug so no one sees them anymore, but we don't care. And granted, the people, like they said, the prisoners in Impel Down in level 6 are very, you know, tough. But still, you know, chain up Crocodile with Sea Prism Stone, can't use his Devil Fruit. Shing! How would he protect himself against that? I mean, I guess hockey, but there's people in the Marines that have really strong hockey too. Get Garp or Sengoku to be the ones that drop the freaking Gila. I don't know. That's a question. I mean, the legitimate answer to that question is Oda didn't want to kill off Crocodile and Doflamingo. Yeah, like, that's the reason there. But even more so than Crocodile. Yeah, Crocodile was a really corrupt guy, and he used the warlord system against him, but that has nothing on Doflamingo. Doflamingo goes to the next level, because Doflamingo is Tenryubito. He's got Marijois secrets. He's got secrets that the Gorosei would make them blush. So that's once again, you'd figure, like, the Gorosei, the second Doflamingo was captured, the Gorosei themselves would be like, get him executed immediately. Like, any means necessary, do what you gotta do. Like, use hockey, use other devil fruits, dice him up into little cubes of jelly, and throw him in the ocean. Like, whatever you gotta do to get this guy dead, do it. Like, there doesn't seem to be any reason why they keep him alive. Interrogation, maybe, but it seems like he would not talk. He's been tortured a lot in his life, and he doesn't talk, so that seems like futile. And also, the secrets he's got, you'd think, would outweigh anything. Because he probably knows things that if the general public found out about the secrets, the world government would have, like, huge amounts of egg on their face, you know? Like, so it's just like, yeah, you just get rid of him, but they don't, so whatever. But let's say the assassin shows up, takes out a gun, points it through the cage, and Dofla's like, I knew you'd come, you son of a gun. And then all of a sudden Magellan shows up. He's like, that's my prisoner. And then Magellan and this assassin start fighting in level 6. Dofi's in the background, chained to the floor. He's like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, damn it, I can't. Magellan, let me out of here. Come on, this is so cool. You know, he's rattling his chains and stuff. Magellan finally lets him out. Because while I do think it is feasible for Doflamingo to break out of the prison on his own, and I would love to see ways you could spin that, because I think we've all seen like a Prison Break movie or that show Prison Break at some point in our lives, and it's really cool how prisoners, you know, you can think like the Alcatraz, the way they escaped. It's just like this multi-layered, multi-step plan. You think they couldn't get out, but they did. I could see that with Doflamingo, like a little Prison Break arc. Not really an arc, I guess, maybe not. Maybe a cover story arc. Dofi's prison escape adventure. I don't know, that would be cool. After Beiji's Own My Family. But I think he could do that, but I also think the most likely way for him to escape is for someone to let him out. Whether that be the assassin lets him out to, you know, when he goes down there, he opens the gate and goes in, and maybe that gives Doflamingo the opportunity to escape, or like Magellan shows up and lets him out for some reason, like Magellan, like, he's like, well, I'll let you out, and you can help me defeat this assassin, and then we can... I don't see any reason why Magellan and Doflamingo would team up in, like, you know, let's work together, but in that one particular instance, maybe it's like Magellan is tired of the world government and, you know, coming to his prison doing whatever they're wanting to do. So maybe one of those guys let him out either intentionally or by accident. You know, I don't know. Or other than that, Doflamingo does have allies in the prison, because I'm assuming Treble, Diamante, Pika, they all got thrown in Impel Down too. So I'm assuming they're all like level 5 prisoners, maybe level 4 prisoners up there. So maybe if they could escape, they could help get him out. You know, it might be more likely for them to escape rather than him. In fact, I even brought this up in one of the former videos, like, if Pika gets freed, if Pika is just chained into a wall and he manages to get the sea prism off, the entire prison is his. He owns it. He controls it, because it's all made out of rock, and he just turns into rock. He assimilates into Impel Down, lets all the prisoners go, and we have a mass breakout that's even more, you know, intense, like every prisoner, even more so than what happened with Luffy and Jinbei and Crocodile and everybody, right? So, yeah. Now, after he escapes, though, which is gonna happen, after he escapes, whether it be with his own, like, his former crew, maybe that could be the case. Like, I don't see him leaving, because that's like his family. I don't see him leaving Diamante. Maybe Diamante might be dead, because I don't know, he hit his head pretty damn hard. But Pika and Treble and everybody, he wouldn't leave them locked up, so maybe he frees them. And, like, what would be their next goal? Would they head back to Dressrosa? Probably not. I think Doflamingo would maybe just head to Marijois to confront them directly. I think that's definitely what I want to see. I don't know about you. I want to see Doflamingo head-to-head with the Gorosei and Im, or some other Tenryubito and whatever, and like I want to see and hear that conversation. I think everybody does. You know, it just like, man, that would actually be... Man, that would be wicked cool if we got to see, like, him confronting the Gorosei, and that was the first time we got to see the Gorosei, like, if they do have any battle capabilities, which I'm sure some of them do. You know, they're probably not, like, the strongest of them in the world, not necessarily, but if we get to see some battle capabilities, we see Doflamingo and his crew fighting off against them, and then Im shows up, and Im might use, like, his ability, and Doflamingo's like, aha! Oh, I've never met you before, but I know who you are. How you doing? And then maybe Im uses some weird, like, psychic ability, or some crazy powerful devil fruit power to, like, suppress Doflamingo or something like that. And maybe that's how we find out about that, you know, like, through Doflamingo. Because, yeah, I mean, like, he might get involved. He would definitely get involved in, like, the final war. But I think Marijois would maybe be, like, the first place he would go to after this is all over. Because his empire on Dressrosa is destroyed. If Luffy and the rebellion defeat Kaido, then that's out of the window. Caesar escaped. So he gets out of the prison and he finds out about all this because he's been reading the papers. He's like, all right, Kaido's been defeated. Big Mom's been defeated. My drug empire is destroyed. Dressrosa is back under the control of Rikido III. All right, screw this. We're going to Marijois. We're gonna have a meeting with some of the heads of state. We're gonna see how that's gonna go. And then maybe after that's all said and done with, maybe that plays a role in the revolution in some way. Doflamingo gets involved in Dragon's Revolutionary War. Not saying he would be an ally of Dragon, but he's be like, oh, you want to burn down the Tenryubito City? I want to burn down the Tenryubito City! You know, okay. And then you have that going on. And then maybe after that, the final battle at, like, Laughtail starts, and he's like, oh, I gotta be part of that. And then he heads off, you know. He's a rather energetic and very maniacal kind of man. And I would love to see him in action again, at least during the final arc. All that other stuff could happen too, but I want to see him pop up again for the final story, and we'll get to see him maybe, Luffy and them, meeting again, and like, kind of a similar way when Luffy met Crocodile and Impel Down, like, "You're Crocodile! Mingo, you're back! Straw Hat, how you been? I owe you a shot in the face, I really do, but for right now, we gotta deal with, like, Blackbeard's giant fleet destroying everything, or they have access to an ancient weapon or something, which that could also very well be the secret that Doflamingo knows about, maybe something involving an ancient weapon, or Uranos, like, I know where it's located or something. Maybe the world government knows where Uranos is located, but they can't access it. Maybe it's on the moon, like, they know where it is, but they can't use it, or the information on how to activate it is only in Doflamingo, maybe something like that. So yeah, he was an information broker for a good many decades. I'm pretty sure he knows his shit. But yeah, let me know below on how you think Doflamingo's going to make his grand comeback in the world, and exactly what point in the story that's going to happen, and how he's going to get out of Impel Down. Alright, well anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Fashionable.